Either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Hell yeah.
They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
All right, ladies, all right, gentlemen, and whoever else is listening, whatever else is listening, we are going to grow as a podcast and a show, and you, whoever is listening to this, will be there from the onset. And as I replay it, maybe have a few more listeners, replay it again, push it, blah, blah, blah. One of the things that I'm going to do is I have another channel. It's health and not a health and wellness as much as it is for diabetics, but since diabetes tends to it tends to get you to do the things that you should do, eat small meals, eat healthy, exercise, low stress, stuff that we should all do anyway, so it's kind of a health and diabetic show. But anyway, later today I'm interviewing somebody who I might have on this podcast, just as a business professional that's been kind of pushing like research and development in the food industry for a long time. But I am, however, doing it on the other show. So if you happen to catch this, I would look up Diabetes Street and check out the episode that has Ron Bassa on there. It should be interesting. And then I'm going to probably promote that one pretty heavily on YouTube, so maybe it'll get some traction on there. As for all these, I'm just a lot of these is just me doing reps, and working on a lot of the bugs before we start pushing it. In any event, I was just listening to bill-maher, of all people. He had I don't want to say a Christian apologist, because he was more just a reporter, and the way he was speaking, it didn't sound like he was a man of the cloth, so to speak. But I think he was a Catholic, but he was defending religion. And I just read an article too that talked about the university atheist type a person is a lot more intelligent than the typical Christian or person that follows religion. And it's funny because it's on one hand, everybody's cheering because they make these bullet statements. And they're always unchallenged about, you're okay with killing bin Laden, but doesn't Jesus say in the New Testament that don't repay evil with evil? And they all cheer, and the problem is when there's a follow-up question by the person that's explaining to them, hey, this is in one hand it's the letter of the law, and on the other hand it's the spirit of the law. And of course God puts the government here for a reason. They're leaders, and the leader's job is to protect the citizens. When it's talking about don't do this or don't do that in the Bible, that is talking to people about specific things, in that anger is the most destructive on the vessel in which it's carried type of deal. But as soon as these guys that attack a religion and it's unanswered and their crowd cheers for them, when they're questioned, all of a sudden they always want to say, well, we could talk about it all day, but I don't want to get into it. And then they start taking steps back. And it's weird because when you listen to them, you think they have all the empirical evidence to defend their statements. And when questioned, they're like, hey, I don't want to get bogged down in the details, in the mud and the mire. But wait a minute, if you got the truth on your side, you will want to get down into it. That's one thing I learned, is anybody that I've ever debated does not want to get down with all the details when they're wrong. If they're right, and there are times when I've brought up a subject and I felt, maybe this person, has a handle on the truth over issues that I always talk about are not essential, and then I'll at least agree to disagree, but I won't dig my claws in. Like when people talk about, oh, can you lose your salvation? It's like I would have a bunch of verses that would say, no, you can't lose it, but then they would have more verses that say, yes, you can, and again, the only thing I do know is be in good graces, and we don't have to worry about anything. But when these people back down, to me, it's a sign of there's trouble with their argument. But to listen to them speak, and of course the crowd, cheers, and the guy did a really good job of defending himself. But it's typical. It's like I was saying the other day, is it's almost like a popularity contest, in that, okay, we're all agreeing that, God is Santa Claus, and, as long as we're all on the same page, it's so easy just to get momentum, and we could probably do that with everything. When we decide, okay, this is a popular belief, and then we start extracting through all the information, okay, we'll take this, and if we know it's going to go unprotested, it's easy to get momentum and go down that road. And if you keep on going down that road, when somebody comes up with the counter argument, then it's easier just to pshaw that person, say, oh yeah, and everybody kind of looks at each other. Nobody's giving that person the benefit of the doubt. Nobody's listening. They start to ridicule him. They'll bring up things that maybe aren't the person's strongest defense. They'll put a spotlight on that, and as soon as they find kind of a chink in the argument or the armor, they will all of a sudden put a ton of weight on that, and not because they're after the truth. It's because they're like, oh, we got this guy, and now maybe he'll back down, and then let's all go back to patting each other's back. And this is not just between atheists and Christianity. It's also between people that are Republicans and Democrats, people that believe in, you just go down the list. It could be from one football team to the next, even. It's just how we are wired as humans to kind of be right. I guess if there's one thing I learned is nobody likes to be wrong, and I think we can all benefit from, okay, let's somehow be as neutral as possible. And I realize I just kind of segued into not the next point, but the carpool lane. And lucky me, I get to go past all these cars, and I probably look like a real hero to all these people. So anyway, so being right is kind of its own religion too. I mean, we all know people that just want to be right, and it doesn't serve anybody. The person that is right tends to, just always look for anything to support their arguments, and people see that from a mile away. I mean, 2 miles away, and you start to get obsessed with being right. You feel like somehow it's going to validate you, and it's going to prop you up, and you will look like some shining tower on the hill. But really, they know it, and they're like, oh, how are you going to get out of this one? And then when you're speaking to them, they're thinking, okay, whatever I say, you're going to try to be right. So they're 9 times out of 10, they're probably not going to listen to you. Whatever you have to say, and because they're waiting for just your rebuttal. They know that you got your no ready to go, whatever you're going to say, and I do not think that serves anybody well at all. Anyway, take a quick break. Hey guys, we love sugar. Sugar tastes good. Problem is, it's causing obesity, it's linked to type 2 diabetes, so we switch over to artificial sweeteners, which at a certain level become bitter, and now it's linked to early dementia. In fact, if you're drinking diet sodas on a regular basis, you're 10 times more likely, studies say, in getting early dementia. So we have a sugar, it's called Next Sugar. It tastes great. It's as sweet as sugar. It's 100% on the sweetness index. Yes, there is an index for that. And guess what? It's half the calories, guys. You can bake with it, try it, get going, do your thing. All right, let's do this. We're talking about being right, and I guess going to the moon and back in your quest to be right. And we can all kind of sense the people that just want to be right, and then there's the people that I notice really like to work things out, and they'll work it out aloud with you when they're talking to you. And the more we can get to that place, the more people are going to take us serious. So it actually has the opposite effect of what people think is, you think, okay, if I give you your point of view and my point of view and I kind of work it out aloud, oh, you're just like a jellyfish, no spine, and you're going to go back and forth, and you can't make up, what do they say, those who don't stand for something will fall for anything. But really, no, people think, wow, you're very objective, and you came to this conclusion by thinking. How do I know that? Because you're thinking right now. And in a world of people that aren't thinkers, when you are one, and especially if you're advertising it like that, it really will stand out. And there's certain people that we all think of they'll listen to you, and usually they're polite, usually they got their crap together. Everything comes in the full circle. If you ever notice, the people that adamantly disagree with you the most are just fervently dogmatic on their point, and literally they'll storm out if you press them enough, are the people that have the rest of their lives in shambles. And not to say again that they're any worse than anybody, but it's just we're all like we are for a reason, because of certain experiences and how we were raised, how the stuff that we went through. So I think that if we could just kind of start to clear our mind of all these other hang-ups and stuff that we have, it will eventually help us to be better conversationalists. People will enjoy our company more. We will enjoy speaking more, because it's more of a back and forth. It's learning instead of posting up an argument. I'm gonna win this battle, and instead of, hey, let's subject each other to one's ideas, it's gonna be like, no, here's my take and here's what it is. And I think that the people that do have these issues, and you're talking to them, and it's just like, oh my gosh, am I going to? What am I even arguing about? Sometimes they throw you for such a loop, because they're like a machine gun, and with all these different arguments and different things, and you're like, hello, can we just stick to the point? And if we're going to argue, what's the point of even talking about this? We're supposed to talk about this conversation just for entertainment. It used to be it's a social gathering. You just talk about whatever, and that's how you pass time. But if it's got to be this, we're going to hit each other over the head with a baseball bat, what's the point of even doing it? I think one of the things I I do like to is